Welcome to Talk Tennis.
Wait, he was recording?
Yeah. Well, today we have Oak, Manish,
So.
and Mark Thune. And the topic is going to be Best of 2025.
Yes.
So I'm excited to have you guys, and I know you're all very passionate about your playtesting. So we're going to go through some categories, and I have done my due diligence. Brittany gave me a big assist, so I have the top rated rackets, shoes, and strings, so we can compare and contrast. I'm like,
Love
no
it.
peeking.
Okay.
Oak.
Okay. I
No
love it.
peeking.
I just hope I don't contradict myself.
Manisha
will.
scores coming out.
I just hope.
He will.
So I definitely will.
This is good. It's been a while.
I know, it's been a minute. I haven't really, it's actually been a while.
Yeah.
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 Posture check. Deep breath.
Yeah, I know. It's been a minute.
Speak from the
I know.
diaphragm.
I'm like, do we need a warm up? Should we just warm up with accessories? Keep it like easy breezy. I keep
Yes.
using easy breezy to jump in before we get into the big categories.
Hey, you're our leader. Start
Okay,
us off.
let's go.
Yeah.
Best accessories of 2025. Something that's not a racket, a shoe, or a string. What is like something that was life changing for you?
Okay, I'm
Manisha's ready.
I'm gonna
He's
start
got
off,
one.
and I'm gonna give credit to Oak for this one
Okay.
because he put me onto this.
Uh-oh.
Recently, I've been going to the gym during my lunch hours, and when I used to go to bed that same night, I used to wake up super tired and all that, so I started doing foam rollers. So my best category or discovery for myself is foam rollers. And I do it as soon as I'm done with the workout.
Just roll out the side, the IT band on the side.
Just the
does
IT
wonders
band,
for-
bag, everything?
I do mostly like legs, but yeah, a little bit of back, but nothing else. But yeah, mostly legs, and
Nice.
it's a game changer. That's
I've
you.
never been this proud.
That's you.
This is
That's
my
you.
proudest moment.
Yeah,
Got yourself a good routine. Starting off young, you got to do it when you're
Yeah.
my age, but it kind of seems pointless. But it won't be. It'll help you out in
Foam
the long
rollers,
run.
man.
For
There's
sure.
a guy in the building that works in another department, and like I work out at a certain time pretty consistently, and he will come in every single day at the same time, and he just does a little foam roll and then he's out.
A man of taste, right there.
So as far as the accessories, it's no racket, no shoe. What were the other parameters?
No string.
No string.
So
no
what
strings
you got?
attached.
What you got?
Well, I'm gonna say the ball matters. Grand Prix ball by Dunlop. This has to be. I'm going to speak for myself, but also say I think everyone here really enjoys this ball.
Yeah.
And I mean this is a genuine compliment as well. Not only is this a really good, consistent ball, fresh out of the can when you pop it. It is also probably the best used ball I've ever played with. So when we throw all the
Agreed.
balls in the general population of the basket, I think most of us are reaching for the Grand Prix ball. That one seems to be more consistent over a long period of time. Love this ball. Relatively speaking, pretty economical as well. So that would be one of my top accessories. And the other one, I think we're having a debate of how to pronounce it.
Yeah.
I've really been enjoying these Wicked Comfort socks, crew socks by 01ST. Is that zero first? I'm not exactly sure. I think it's more important how much I enjoy these socks.
Maybe we need to get them on the podcast.
I've actually asked around and I've gotten a few different answers. So yeah, hopefully somebody can correct me
Wait,
on this.
okay, so what is so life changing about these socks?
Well, I'm a big sock guy. I, accessorize with sock colors. I know we're going to talk about shoes here pretty soon, but I like the colorways. I got a navy gray and then there's a white dark blue.
Okay.
And I just really love the socks, not only just for the way they look, but also they go through dozens of wash and wear cycles and they come out pretty much the same size. I also use them for my cycling activities as well. So they serve a dual purpose. I really like the socks a lot.
You have one
Nice.
of those, right?
I'm going to give a quick shout out just because I know this is not necessarily my favorite. I think they're great, but a Team T-Dub, which is our pro sponsored players, absolute favorite on the sock category is Features, either the max cushion or the light cushion. And then the Features is spelled FeetUres. They are obsessed with those socks. Like to the point where like some of them travel together and I think it's like sock wars when they get their laundry back. And it's like, no, I'm taking them. And so it sounds like a very similar situation, but they come in the no-show and all that. And so for the ladies out there, if you don't like the cruise, the Features is also a good option.
Very nice.
Or double up. If the shoe's
yeah.
feeling a little bit roomy,
Yeah.
2 pairs of
Yeah.
socks,
Yeah.
kind of nice, honestly.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Nice. Cool.
That's cool.
Oak, what you got?
Did come out late last year as far as when we started carrying them, but I did use them a lot this year, and that would be a variety of Incrediwear products.
Okay.
I do really like their sleeves. Anytime like my arm is like feeling sore, I pretty much always wear one of their wrist sleeves whenever I'm playing padel or tennis. And then they have a full leg sleeve that I pretty much travel with at this point.
Nice.
It's so as far as, active recovery, something that you want to use later after your workout, it's pretty tough, honestly, to like be Incrediwear as far as a really good compression sleeve that's not just typical compression.
Yeah, Novak put me onto the knee brace.
Yeah, that's what I was just gonna say.
Yeah,
is that
he
the
put
one
that brand on the
wearing?
he put that brand on the map.
Agreed.
I mean, T-Dub. No.
Just saying. Check out the article.
I didn't know they made the knee brace. It's the same company.
Yeah.
I'm familiar with Block UV. You just enlightened me to another product on our site that I need to know a little something about.
They're good.
Good stuff.
Nice. Cool.
What about you, Michelle?
I'm trying to think. I've had I didn't do my homework on this question. I'm really good at asking the questions, but
You're not much of an accessory person. No dampeners,
No
like
dampeners.
wristbands, and
No.
you don't really.
What about the Sloane Stephens sunblock?
The Dock and
yeah,
Go. Yeah,
mhm.
that's a really fun product. Sloan, we brought her in, I think it was in March. She has a whole skincare line. And actually, Britt and Tiff and I have been using, she has like this great mist, which is like aloe, and it's like for post-tennis, post-workout, so you don't feel so gross. Maybe you're not taking a shower right away, which I think I'm definitely guilty of.
I think we all are.
Well, like we're on an activity group, so it's like you might be playing tennis at like 11, but you're probably also playing paddle at like 3 and then going to the gym or something like that. But that's a really cool. And then there's also deodorant, and it's been fun working with her and seeing her grow her brand and do all these fun things. So good call. Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks for the assist there. I needed that. Okay, well, let's start with the heavy hitter.
nitty-gritty.
What'd you say?
The nitty-gritty.
The nitty gritty. Let's go straight into it. Let's go rackets. I'm going to ask you guys your best of rackets of the year, and then I'll go over what our highest rated reviewed rackets were, just to see if anything's aligning. And the camera behind me might be able to see this, but it's an interesting list because sometimes we review product. Well, wait, before we get into it, I do want to tell the audience, because this comes up probably once a day, we have different playtesters on different reviews, so you can't always compare our number scores to each other because it's very subjective. And like some days something feels amazing and you're switching to it, and then other days you're like, oh my gosh, I can't hit a forehand.
Also,
Absolutely.
all of our play styles are so much more different than each other's. There's like very little commonality in game styles amongst these 4 people.
But agreed, yeah. And we have different playtesters.
Let's say
Similar playing types here and here.
I was going to say, we go diagonally
Weird,
here.
the colors are
There's
matching.
some
Outside of this foursome, I would say there's not a ton of overlap necessarily.
Yeah, that's true.
So.
Okay, so who wants to start us off? What was your best racket of 2025? And it's okay if you have 2, because I know it's hard to decide.
Working here, it is very difficult. When I first started working here in 2007, there were probably a few rackets that I really gravitated towards and was confident with.
I already know where
now
you're going.
I feel like there are a lot of rackets. I mean, I could name off the new FX 500 Tour. I had a great time with that, several rackets. But I think a lot of people are aware that the version 1 Salinka Whiteout 305 XTD with the 18 main. That is not only one of my favorite rackets. There's another friend of mine that works here that gravitates towards this racket as well. I like the version 2 as well. I just felt like version 1 was a little crisper, a little better energy return on it. Really enjoy this racket. It fits my game very well. And then the second one, thank you for allowing me
Well, you're psyching us out because you
two.
keep using the word gravitate, and I know you used to gravitate towards the Gravity MTXL.
So
but
now
not
I'm
anymore.
gravitating towards this racket. So it has been available in Europe for maybe over a year now. Head's finally made it available to players here in the U.S., and I couldn't be happier. It is the 2025 Head Radical Tour. So it's another 305-gram masterpiece, but I would say it's got a little bit more energy return than, say, like a Blade. But it's definitely not as as stiff as, say, like a Pure Aero or Pure Drive 98. So really get a lot out of this racket. It's a little more maneuverable.
Yeah.
It is an 18 main. So yeah, it's very point and shoot instead of lift and land. It's just a very predictable racket to me, and it suits a lot of different strings. I prefer it to be a little thinner with an edge on it. Lets me grip the ball a little bit better, but it really gives me the best of everything that I need. I get a little power, a little control, easy access to spin, and the backhand slice stays nice and low. Not low enough for you guys, but pretty low. And those are my 2 rackets.
That's awesome.
How much more did you customize the whiteout? I see you have the leather on it.
That's a good question.
Is there more?
That's a good question.
All right. So I did put one of our private label grips. This is one of my favorite accessories. I think it is definitely a premium grip. You can go with the fairway grips, but these work great. Easy applications. The adhesive on the other side. The only thing is, this took 11.4 ounce racket and tipped it up over 12 ounces. I think I'm at about 12.1 with a dampener and an overgrip. So, be careful how much weight you're going to add. At least it's to the tail side, so it made it a little more whippy. Just really a great racket, and maybe the modification at my age is a little high on the static weight, but overall it's still something manageable over a long period of time. And I think because of the weight, that's why I've been gravitating towards the little lighter, shorter Radical Tour as well.
Nice. Well, I will let you know that neither of those are on the top 3 reviewed rackets of the year. But that's the beauty of this and our reviews and us being different personalities and play styles and everything. We all like what we like. So
so funny, he was saying gravitating. I was gonna say Gravity Tool.
Okay.
Is it on the list?
It's not. Oh, I only got the top 3. I can pull up more and tell you where it landed, but it's not top 3.
Genuinely like the Gravity Tool. I was on the video with you on the Radical Tool and also with the Gravity Tool, and I prefer the Gravity Tool over the Radical Tool if I had to choose between the two. But yeah, the Gravity Tool I really did like. It's a bit softer than I would usually go for, but I was still able to hit all my shots with it, and I was really surprised with the... I feel like I could attack a lot more with the Gravity Tool. Is it 1820 or
1620?
It's now it's 16 main.
16 main.
1619, I believe.
Oh, 1619. Okay, that's what you're...
And didn't they go from 118 main, and then the new one's smaller head size, more open pattern?
98.
I think that was a smart move.
And it's so much more spin friendly than some of the other rackets that I've used this year, for a 98 especially.
Yeah.
So I really did enjoy just hitting just bare kickers with it, and which is one of the reasons I liked it as much as I do. So Gravity Tool is my racket.
Nice.
That thing eats strings too.
It does. It's
so open at the top of the hoop that I feel
love it.
You like breaking strings?
I
just like hitting the and I've broken. Yeah.
He's like, some people do. Is that your racket of choice?
No.
Okay, just checking.
I'm still on
you
the
said,
RF.
I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
Just the way you said it. Just checking.
You never know.
You never know. Okay, Oak, what you got?
I'm going to go last because I have a sneaking suspicion that my racket of the year...
You might, I think, however, there is a racket that tied for first on the top score.
Okay.
And it wasn't the one that let's just say it might be a model that you might have, but I thought that model would have been in it, and
this one was interesting.
I bet I know at least
I don't
2
know
out of
if
those 3 rackets.
Small guess.
I can go with mine real quick. I've been swinging the Pure Drive 98 a lot this year. The 1620 string pattern update is a game changer for me because I've always been saying I'm looking for a little bit more control. They've changed the beam shape a little bit, so it's a little bit more like player's frame. It's not super stiff, like, you guys know I don't have a problem with that. I have added a little customization, but I'm also contemplating taking it off. So this is a racket that, like, through the year I just could grab and be fine with, like, knowing. But unpopular opinion, okay, I haven't played as much tennis as I have other years, and if I'm playing tennis, I'm still grabbing the RF 97.
I recently played with mine with him.
Say less. Literally, I've had a couple moments of tennis where it was going to be my last day for a while or my first day after a while, and this was the racket that I've used. And while I keep kind of complaining that I'm not as strong as I used to be, this racket still just does all the work if you can swing it. So I'm just saying, RF 97 for life.
How have you customized your Drive 98?
Do
you know the specs?
No, because actually I have them right here. Okay, typical of me, like Troy is so specific and meticulous and
Right.
perfect with his customizing. We all know I'm
Down
not.
to the dot. Yeah.
Down to the dot. So I just actually grabbed some of these Babolat and I've lost a little. I don't know if you've noticed, like,
Little tungsten strips.
yeah, so I don't know about you guys, but I like lead when customizing, but it's hard to find now because of everything. So the tungsten doesn't always stay on for me, and you can see, like, maybe you can't, but like a little part has come off on both. Like, it's kind of sharp.
That's how hard she hits the ball.
No.
She's just
It's like
dislodging
that's
all
me
the
shaking
tungsten.
balls.
It
It's
shakes the
shredded.
lead off. I love it.
So I don't do like specific customizing. I just throw weight on and see if I like it. So it's at 11.65 ounces, and it's a 332 swing weight.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so it's just a little
Great spec.
into the 330s.
Great spec.
Yeah, I like it. So that's where most of mine are. I've had, yeah, so I'm enjoying it. And
So
I'm
the
playing
color
with,
coordination on both those frames.
I don't want to digress
Thank you.
too much.
Thanks for
But
noticing.
is it fair to say, I mean, everyone here has been playing a lot more paddle. Obviously, those paddle rackets are very heavy. I feel like playing paddle, it's made me gravitate more towards heavy tennis rackets. It's got me
But I'm the
more in that
opposite in
direction.
paddle. I'm not using the heavy models. I'm using the either the model below or yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I've gone the other way. I go
Well, you like the
heavy
air pipe
paddle
a lot,
rackets.
Yeah. So
Interesting.
Okay.
okay, give it. Give it.
So my racket of the year, and I have a sneaking suspicion that it's up there, is the Technofiber T-Fight 305S. One of the most well-rounded rackets out there. We did a comparative review of it earlier this year versus the Prince ATS Textream Tour 98. This is one of my daily drivers, honestly. If I were to go into a match scenario, this is probably the racket that I would grab. Just everything I want in a racket, and I love it probably on serve the most. It just handles so smooth through the air, and for an 18-19, like fairly dense pattern, the amount of spin, the amount of pop, just the amount of action that you're still able to produce, there's just nothing really like it, in my opinion.
I gotta say something. You've raved about this racket the entire year, and you've yet to switch to it.
well, there's other
I've
rackets
told him
coming.
to
That's-
switch.
It's
Yeah,
not-
he's
Yeah.
always like,
That's
but
the
dude, this
tough
is
part.
coming out, dude. I don't care. You play well with this, bro.
Yeah, I mean, between this and the ATS 98, it's so hard for me to like actually commit to one or the other.
I get it.
And when you work here,
Yeah.
Right,
I
right.
mean, we could try
Exactly.
to make it official today, and then, but that's what I was gonna say. I know the new Prince tours are coming. Too.
Exactly. So it's a never-ending journey. But
Dude, he comes home one day and he's like, dude, I was just playing with the S, the T-Fight S, and my serves and my forehand were just going, dude. I'm like, yeah, we've talked about this like last week. same conversation, bro. Last week.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, but like today was like, I don't care. We've had this conversation.
it's a good racket. It's a good racket.
I don't care. You've talked about
One,
this.
while we're at it, do you want to talk a little bit about your two-handed forehand
Yes.
Talk about a never-ending journey.
and backhand?
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, as some of you have known, like my weaker wing is probably my forehand. Even though that was the opposite growing up, it's the only shot I had, and so one of my main issues with that side of my body is that I felt like I wasn't really doing like my unit turn and getting my left shoulder fully turned and engaged in the shot. And you know, every now and then I mess around and I'll play left-handed with an older group just for fun, and it had me thinking. I was like, okay, well, what if I committed to trying to like really do something different on that side? And so I started messing around with a two-handed forehand one day. Just went out and hit a lot of balls cross court, and I was like, okay, this is actually kind of viable, actually. So I just stuck with it, and I've been hitting it for about a month and a half now, and it's more stable, it's more consistent, it's a lot more flat, and so I'm still getting used to that. But it's really fun to have something tangible to work on, and it's much more consistent so far.
Shout out Cat
I
Harrison.
was gonna say
Cat
the
Harrison.
timing of
Cat
it all.
Harrison.
I don't know if that influenced your decision, but I also want to note, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm gonna call out someone on YouTube who was saying that you were changing your grip, and I'm like, yeah,
So
because it's a forehand and it's a backhand.
yes. Yeah, I don't know, like, if there's an official right answer on this.
I think
like
there is.
perhaps, but it does look a little bit more like a lefty two-handed forehand because I'll put my right hand on top and my left hand on the bottom, which is the inverse of how I would hit my normal backhand. So some people would call that a backhand on both sides. For me, it still feels like a forehand in terms of what I'm hitting.
Are you switching the top hand when you go from side to side?
Correct.
Right to left?
Yeah, I think honestly that grip arrangement.
Sorry, my brain's
It's a little strange because like you're going here and then you go to the other side. So when I set, like I'm normally in this like standard position here. So because I found if I set up in this position, like for the two-handed forehand or lefty backhand, it was really hard for me to get actually into my normal backhand grip. But it was much easier to switch into this on that side.
Huh. Okay.
But I think I did that hand arrangement because of baseball. And that's how I held a bat. And so it felt like a little bit more natural.
Nice.
Hey, it looks pretty good to me. Shout out to Jury Dowell, who works here as well. She plays two hands off both sides, and I'm astonished. She does the exact same thing and super effective off of both
She
wings,
switches hands, too.
She switches
hands.
hands.
See, that's what I'm saying.
Yes.
I think you're doing it correctly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we all
Harrison's
know-
doing it incorrectly.
We all
hers is
know
way better.
Work here are doing it correctly. The WTA Pro is the one who's doing it wrong, guys. Yes.
No, I'm not sure.
The point is,
I'm not
if it
saying
works
anything.
for you,
Yeah, who
Yeah.
do it.
cares? Who
Absolutely.
cares
I mean, like,
what it looks like?
look at like Fabrice Santoro. You know, nobody would teach the guy,
Right.
and he was like, "I'm gonna hold it this way because that's how Jedi's hold their lightsabers."
There you go. Hey,
Is that his reasoning?
That was his reasoning.
Monica
as a kid.
Seles,
Right.
Andre Dome. I mean,
course.
there's a lot of people with
Pancho
two hands.
Segura.
Jan Michael
Gamble?
Gamble
Yep.
played two hands off
Yep.
both sides. That's
Yep,
right.
with an extended prince.
Did you already know all these names, or did you look it up as soon as you decided to?
I knew some of them, like Celos and Santoro, obviously,
trying to think
but
who else.
yeah, I mean, Lynn reminded me of like some of the older ones. I was like, who? So it was
Yeah.
cool.
Hey, your switch there and improvement, I would say, has kind of inspired me to try and get my racket over the top of the ball on my returns. Everyone knows I kind of just half volley chip most of those things back into play, but I've discovered that it's getting better, and I see you going after it on your forehand wing that way. I figure, hey, if he can do it, this old guy can get over the top of the ball a little bit more often than usual. So, yeah, I'm trying to do similar improvements to my game. And tennis is such a multifaceted activity. There's always things you can improve and change. And I don't just totally have to be stuck in my ways the entire tennis journey. But, yeah, I'm impressed that forehand of yours is definitely coming along pretty solid.
One ball at a time.
That's right. One shot, one ball. Exactly.
And it's encouragement to anyone listening that's like been stuck and you like hate one shot. Like always, you can always evolve and change and make it work. Yeah.
So did this racket make it into the top 3?
So that's the controversy.
Okay.
And I should pull up the original spreadsheet and see where it landed because it didn't. But I know it reviewed. Britt, have a recount.
Well, we shot this last year. So maybe that's where the time, because this racket came out in January.
Did it come out at the same time as the 300?
Mm-hmm.
Or the 305?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
Interesting.
What happened?
technically, and I'll see if I can pull it up real quick. Technically, the T-Fight 305 scored the highest.
And not the 305S.
No, and that's where, yes, I know.
Nah,
I'm
I'm
going
like,
to pull it up.
let's-
Hold on.
let's fact
Please
check
pause.
this. Like-
The Medvedev racket with the 1819.
Well, that's this
That
one.
one.
No.
That's the S.
But
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I remember everyone who reviewed the 305 liked it, but everyone who reviewed the 305S loved it.
Well, there's the 305S, and then there's the 300 and 300S.
305 scored a 90.
It's a white racket thing.
I'm pulling it up right now.
That's why I don't mess with the.
But you guys also know that my brain's been a little.
I wonder if she meant 305S because there is no
She
standard.
has a whole spreadsheet. Hold on.
There is no standard 305.
Yeah.
There's only the 305S.
Oh, then it must mean the 305.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. I swear I'm not.
So are you going to hold us hostage in suspense, or are we going to learn what
no,
these
I'm
three
pull it. I'm pulling
rackets
it
are?
up. Oh no, I have it. But let me pull this up before we move on to the other two.
Yeah. The 305S final score 9, which, along with the Prince ATS Extreme Tour 98.
Okay. So I'm not crazy though.
Yeah.
So she put 305
Yeah, which is incorrect.
and it scored a 90.
Yeah.
Okay, so it was
So,
not on me. I've had so many brain farts all year.
highest
This
scoring
one-
racket of the year.
All right.
Tied.
What else got a 90?
Guess. What is the most trendiest racket of the year?
Trendy.
Guys, think to like January, February, March.
Oh.
Ultra?
No.
Flash.
Think
E-Zone
there-
100.
Yes, thank you.
Which one?
The
E-Zone 100.
E-Zone. That was like everyone's been talking until like 2 months ago. Everyone's been talking about the E-Zone.
Yeah.
So both the Technofiber. Okay, I didn't mess that up, guys.
No.
T-Fi 305.
Internal user
and
error.
that's where I was like, wait, this
Yeah.
is so weird. Okay. Also, yeah. So T-Fi 305S scored a 90, E-Zone 100 scored a 90, and then the third scored an 89. And this was play tested, I want to say, the second half of the year. And it was a play test that you and I were both on for sure. I don't remember because, again, my brain is sorry.
You have to tell me what
And I
frame.
don't think you were on it.
Suspended in suspense here.
And I really liked it a lot. And it's not usually a racket that I like necessarily love.
Clash.
No. I do love
Second
the Clash.
half of the year.
The second half of the year.
Oh, right.
I do love the Clash though. I think it was actually my last play test before my surgery.
Oh. We were on this?
I think you were on it. Maybe you weren't on it. Sorry.
What is it? What is it?
So many rackets, so many reviews.
The
Give us
Head
a- oh.
Speed Pro Legends.
We were on it. I liked it.
I liked,
liked
it.
it.
I liked it a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was
a good racket.
That ranked it got an 89. Yeah.
I think the new Hybor honestly feels pretty good
Yeah.
as far as like increased stability. Like
Yeah.
you can kind of get away with some of those higher swing weights and lower static weights now, it feels like, versus before. Sometimes you would just spray and launch, and it's like, do I trust this when swinging out? Maybe not.
But that's the tough thing too. Like, oh my gosh, we got it so tough. But we are reviewing a lot of stuff, and like
Yeah.
that racket, like sometimes you're like, wait, what is my favorite racket? You kind of forget what you like.
I did like this.
I need to
the
revisit
the
it.
legend was nice.
And endorsed by Manisha's favorite player. So
yeah,
Absolutely.
me saying that should carry a lot of weight that I genuinely like the Legend Pro. Okay.
Okay, let's move along to shoes.
Okay.
This I feel like is going to be an interesting topic. Again, I have the top 4 shoes.
okay.
I'll start us out here.
Yeah.
Yes.
I will say the number 1 rated shoe was a women's specific shoe.
Oh yeah.
The
we
number
know.
the number 2 rated shoe was a men's specific shoe.
Oh.
Yes, and then their 3rd and 4th were rated highest by the men and lower by the women.
Oh,
So it's a very interesting, and we can discuss it. But I'll just start off with the highest rated shoe.
Yeah.
think I know.
It was a 91, scored 91 on the women's shoe review for the Wilson Intrigue Tour.
Wow. I was going to guess the
Yeah.
Stella. Interesting.
And yeah, the Stella did get re-reviewed.
Avalux.
I don't know where it landed. I know it's still a favorite amongst everyone, but yeah, that Intrigue Tour, both Britt and I think switched to his shoe of choice. It's really amazing. It looks good. It feels good. I wish you guys could wear it, but instead
Yeah.
you have other shoes that are men only. So, and I
Sure.
think one of
I
you
could squeeze
has
into an
one.
11.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So that's where we're starting. So
Everybody who's had that shoe on has called that the best women's shoe.
I
been made.
had Juri try it on.
Yeah.
and she
And she
loves
liked
it.
it.
Yeah, because
Everybody's
it's soft
raved
around the
about
heel.
every-
Yeah,
Yeah.
Good for players, good for Wilson.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
great. And I mean, honestly, I think any player, any level would appreciate what it has to offer. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Can I guess number 2?
Yes,
Is it the K-Swiss Hypercourt Pinnacle?
yes. And that scored an
Yeah.
87. And that was one where I was like, gosh, I want to try that shoe. So, you guys play tested that? Did all 3 of you?
No,
Yes.
that
I
don't
did
come
not.
myself.
Yeah.
I did. Yeah.
And
I enjoy the shoe a lot. Pink and white is not my favorite colorway, but I'm more of a function over aesthetic guy. I really like that shoe.
I think
Excellent.
there's a shoe that's been more recently reviewed.
Yes.
I don't think we got the scores yet.
For these bad boys?
Yes.
The K-frame speeds, evolution of that shoe. Yeah, a little divisive internally, I would say. Some
Internally
of us,
between the guys, because it's for sure divisive between men and women.
correct. Yeah, definitely
Interesting.
divisive. Chris and I did both tout it as the shoe of the year
Yeah.
for us both. I know you didn't quite like it as much. It's a little bit on the
width
narrow.
the width on
Yeah.
me is what just took it out.
So sometimes I feel like when you have like a very fit specific kind of shoe like that, it might alienate potentially, some users.
Mhm.
But if you do have the foot type that this kind of shoe is designed for, I mean, check out the review for our full thoughts. But
Yeah.
Hey, you haven't been wrong on food advice, movie advice, or shoe advice. I'll take your advice on a lot of things, Oak.
Well, and I will say on the women's side, because there were a few comments, because we did have different opinions. Sometimes they're just a little different in the way they're made, or if a shoe is made specifically for a male foot versus a female foot, that can translate into not getting as high of scores.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And I feel like on the women's side, from what I heard from you guys, was that the sizing was off for some people.
It was weird. Mine felt very short.
Yeah.
I don't know how to feel for you.
I had no issues with the fit.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, it did seem like one of those things where it was built differently for women and for men. So.
Our feet just kind of sit different in the shoe, and for me it was short, and then the toe box was roomy enough where I felt like I couldn't get the support there. Yeah.
What's number 4?
This is okay.
Wait,
so
number 3.
3 and 4, K-Swiss, man.
Oh, I know exactly what it is.
Pinnacle was 2. K-frame was 3.
K-frame, I don't know.
No, we don't have scores for.
We don't have
Gotcha,
scores for
yeah.
K-frame.
3.
Ultra shot? Yes. 4.
Ultra Shot 4 for men, which was scored 87. On the women's side, again, I'm sorry, K-Swiss, but it didn't translate. It scored a 79.
Yeah.
We loved previous versions of the Ultra Shot, but this update, again, was more bulky, heavier than the previous one. But why did you guys like it?
Oh, I loved it. I've been wearing this shoe so much in between playtests for other shoes because, as you guys know, I don't get shoe sizes.
You have big feet.
As much, I'm a men's 14 just for you guys.
There we go.
But this shoe, no, honestly, this is one of the only shoes that fits so well on the sides and in terms of length as well. And I just love the support and cushioning on it as well.
So what you're saying, one person's bulk is another one's support?
Yeah, honestly, yeah.
I agree. I agree.
I mean, I'm not the fastest mover, so I don't really care about
Speed.
being at the ball. So Ultra Shot 4 just does it for me. And I've been very insecure about my ankle after the ankle roll I had. So I've been going for a lot more support. And the Ultra Shot 4 does that for me. You guys saw what happened on the...
Yep.
So yeah,
It
Ultra
wasn't
Shot
pretty.
4, man.
Yeah, that's on my list of favorite shoes as well. It is, I'll admit, it's heavier. It is a little bulkier. Like Manish, I'm not, trying to set any speed records, but I like the amount of cushioning, as we all know DTL really focuses on, under the balls and heel of my feet. So I don't feel very beat up after playing, and I'd rather be a little slower to the ball and feel more or less beat up post match than having a lightweight shoe and feeling really beat up. So yeah, I'm on Ultra Shot 4 team as well.
Yeah.
Okay, I brought the 4th one too because it actually tied for 3rd. Sorry, the score was also 87 on the men's side, but on the women's side, it got an 82. I did like this shoe. You guys want to try to guess it?
Not another K-Swiss.
Not another K-Swiss, although
CT
good
Rally?
for them. No.
That's not the Avalux?
Mm-mm.
It's men's and women's.
Oh, it's men's and women's. Okay.
Men's and women's. It is featured on best shoes for 2025.
Vapor 12.
Yep.
There you
Men's
go.
and women's.
Yeah.
Yeah. Vapor 12 scored an 87. Women scored an 82. I actually got to travel to Europe this year. That was the shoe that I brought with me, so I was wearing it the whole time.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Very
it's hard to pack.
speedy. Yeah. Still comfortable.
I liked it.
Yeah.
I've only worn it once, so I can't
Okay.
really comment. But
Did you
Well,
guys
I
have
was
any
missing on
non-
the rackets. I'm going 2 for 2 on the shoes so far.
That was your favorite?
Yeah, it's on my list.
Yeah.
I
think
see
it
Mark
looks
wearing those a
good,
lot.
too.
Yeah, he went.
I think here, so
Okay.
proof of the pudding.
Nice. Good. See? We actually like what we
Yeah.
talk about.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Then let's move on to string. This is a much shorter our reviews were much shorter in comparison to Racket reviews. The amount of reviews that we did on strings were much lower. And you and I were both on two string reviews that made top 2.
okay.
Yeah, and also just knowing both our personalities is we love what we love.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
It's not annoying at all.
dude, you love what you love too. You just weren't on. Actually, you were on this one too, I think. Or you were on the second. I don't know. Fuzzy brain.
Yeah.
I know I was
Yeah,
on
yeah.
one of them, and I know for a fact Oak was on the
You know
other
what it is?
one.
I don't either.
So I'm going to start because the number one reviewed string of the year was O Toro Tour. Which
I love that string.
I love this
I love that
string. Yeah, it's got control. It's got good tension maintenance. It's got good access to spin. It's not uncomfortable, but it's still got a firmer feel than the rest of the Toro or the O Toro string. So it's the stiffest of the O Toro.
Yeah.
And now we have it in the Dreddy hybrid, which so now we're seeing it in different colors. So the mains of the Dreddy hybrid is O Toro Tour with O Toro Snap.
Okay.
But
Oh.
yeah.
I didn't like Snap as much.
Okay. Have you tried it like this?
Not in the Dreddy. You guys just did a review
We
on
just
that, right?
reviewed it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would give the edge to O Toro Tour full bed, and I think Troy would as well. He found the Snap to be a little flighty at times, but like it definitely adds a little bit more spin.
I can see why you'd like this, like the stiffer aspect of it. Why did you like it?
No, he wasn't on this.
I wasn't on that
He was
one.
on the
Yeah.
second best reviewed string.
Oh,
Which I
okay,
think
okay.
you might have been also, but I can't remember.
Okay.
So the Dreddy is one of the firmer hybrids by Toro line. Is that
We actually think that the K-pop might be firmer.
firmer? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is.
I
I,
think
feel like
so.
That was what I was going
I've
to compare it
used
to.
K-pop.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was that's my pick of the year. I love everything that Toro Line's doing, obviously. I mean, give me some colors and good vibes.
Yeah, they're hitting home runs for sure, and I like it that it's a SoCal-based company as well,
Right?
by
Yeah.
tennis players for tennis players.
And
Yeah,
it's just
it's
super fun.
pretty
No
awesome.
one's taking themselves too seriously.
Yeah.
You want to go next? You do have a Toro Line
Yeah,
string
I mean,
over there,
while we're
though.
talking about it, for me, in terms of strings that came out this year, and this was just a fun release story too. I really did like to see Toro Line flesh out the O Toro line, and Tor I think was a little bit more in your guys' kind of vein, kind of that stiffer string type. Me personally, I don't mind a softer string if it still has good grab, good feel. And I really liked O Toro Spin. And when we were at BMP this year, I got to work with Toro Line to help, do a little secret pop up, and so I got a big box of it and I smuggled it in through the back, and we got it in our store, and it was really cool to see people sort of like swarm to the Toro Line.
Dude, we ran out of Toro Line strings at BNP like what?
It was
4 different times.
Pretty quick.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, Eric had
So.
to make like so many drives down.
That's crazy.
But yeah, it is cool to see O Toro Spin, and now in a couple of different colors too.
Yeah. And then you were pretty helpful in bringing in a new string brand this year.
That was a lot of fun. Is that the one that's on
Number 2.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So O Toro Tour scored a 91, and then Grapple Snake Alpha scored an 87.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, we both
Were you
really
both on
like
that review? Okay, that's what I thought so, but I wasn't sure. I knew he was.
I mean,
That's the gold string.
correct.
Yeah.
It's, I would say, one of those polys that's really designed to be accessible by kind of everyone.
Yeah.
If you're looking to sort of, start out in your polyester journey, it's a great first option because it's comfortable, but at the same time, really reliable. And I feel like oftentimes with those softer polys, you're not getting something that necessarily has good feel and good control on top of that. And it really just does everything well. Maybe not excelling at anything in particular, but if you're looking for a well-rounded string that, again, is going to work in pretty much whatever racket you try it in, and this is something we stressed in the review, is that its primary trait is its accessibility. And so that's just really cool to see. And
Yeah.
Remember they recommended it to be strung at like just 53 or 54 pounds or something like that?
yeah, I mean, I would say like generally like they err on like the side of a little bit lower, but I think that's a pretty standard trend in polyester stringing these days. Anyway, I know you guys string a little bit higher.
I know. I was just gonna say
But-
I
Not
strung
as
it
high as
higher,
this guy.
and
Yeah.
Not as
I
high
strung
as
it
this
higher
guy.
and I
I'm
loved it as
changing
well.
colors.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it works out of
Thank you.
variety.
It's a great string.
There's no Manarinos in here.
Yeah.
I think the third, actually it tied for second reviewed string. It might have been you guys also.
RPM team?
No.
Mach 10.
No. Actually, Mach 10 should be on there.
Hyper Mach BD.
Mach 10's on mine.
Okay, tell me about Mach 10 while I look up the score, because I know
I
other
have
people also love
officially
it.
switched to Mach 10 like for my string of choice. I
What
have
gauge?
17.
Okay.
I don't know if it's 17. It's 125, so it could be 16L. Regardless, it's a great string. I like it because I'm able to go super high in tension, and I'm not losing that pop, which I usually do when I go to that 57, 58 tension. So it still keeps the pop, and I'm able to hit a lot more spin than what I had in my like from K-pop essentially. I was using K-pop for a decent amount of time, and then I moved to Mark 10. Jada put me on because like, hey, I need some footage and all that. I'm getting a racket strung up in this new Solinko string they're trying to do, and I'm like, all right, yeah, I'll try it. And then I just liked it so much. I was like, yeah, I'll keep it.
I'm amazed. That string was pretty polarizing here. There's some people that really loved it, and there's
Chris
others that
hated it.
didn't.
Britt loves it.
Yeah, Britt loves it.
I really liked
love
it. I mean, it to me, maybe it's a little bit livelier than other polyesters. I've heard other.
It's livelier than Hyper G.
Yes, definitely.
Yes.
Which a lot of us call Hyper G the
And then I've
gold
heard
standard.
people say that it's a little sticky, like there's not like excellent snapback on it. But I'm using an 18 main racket, which is almost like using string savers to begin with. It holds the strings in place. I love that string. I think it's one of my favorite strings for sure.
So on number 1 scored 91. Tied for second, scored 87. Oh no, we have a three-way tie for second. So then coming in third would be Mach 10 at 85, a score of 85, which tied for RPMT with RPMT.
Okay. Gotcha.
There is, well, we haven't gotten to yours, but we did just hear you love Mach 10. There are 2 strings that scored 87 that are also on this list that have not been mentioned. One is a very, very popular string brand. The other is a lesser known string brand.
ISO speed?
No. And I think you guys, I don't know who was on the review. I'll just tell you. MSV Focus Hex Soft.
Oh, our
Underrated
first string review.
That
That was your first string review?
Yeah.
That's 87.
was
So
fun,
inflated number. No, I'm just kidding.
Wow.
Inflated number, like so good.
And that's a softer string, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Excellent.
that was, and then you guys, was it you? I don't know. Luxlon EcoSpin.
That was also us, yeah. And that was an interesting playtest because it's a stiffer, more control-oriented string, and so we wanted to isolate it within like the clashes. And so we were testing it alongside Clash V3 to see if we could sort of tame the power of that racket with something that was a little bit more precise. And that was fun, honestly. That was a really fun playtest.
That in the 100 Pro.
Yeah. So
100 Pro is something you and I both liked as well.
I love that racket. That's like my hot take of the year.
that is a sleeper, I will say.
Yeah.
Thank
Like,
you.
I mean, I remember like we're like, you know, this racket's not necessarily designed for like the higher level player.
I know.
No, like
Don't
that
tell me what I
racket-
can and can't do. No, I'm just
Exactly.
kidding.
No, but seriously, like that racket with your racket head speed works.
It was fun.
That's your
No.
literal entire personality.
I know.
Don't tell me what I can.
Literally.
I
Mark,
can't believe I'm going to say this, but I think it was both you and I. We were kind of enjoying the 108 clash when we were getting
I like that one too.
I was really surprised. Yeah.
Do you have any other strings that we didn't mention?
Oh,
Basically all of them.
I'm big on that. The poly hybrids these days. So a lot of strings from Toro line, but in particular, I'm liking that Hyper Mach
Yeah.
Yeah.
brain dead
Brain dead,
string.
that's what it's called.
Yeah, on just about every racket that I play with, whether it's an open or a dense string pattern, I really like the combination, the feel.
Did that get a review?
No.
Okay.
But
so.
that is also my favorite way to experience Mach 10.
Yeah.
Because I feel like the Hyper G round, just like you said, adds a little bit of snapback, helps rein in some of like that flightier nature. And yeah, that's a great setup.
Chocolate and peanut butter for me, for sure.
Heck yeah. Okay, well, that wraps up our best of, and we are going to keep going into some more fun stuff. We've already chatted about all the things. So stay tuned for another episode where we're going to do, I'm calling it the awards no one asked for. We've got some hot takes and some fun stuff
This
to
is a
discuss.
fun one.
So that's your best of 2025. Thanks you guys for joining. Thanks for playtesting. Thanks for being awesome. And everyone else, if you have questions about all this stuff, let us know. Otherwise, go grab some good gear and go play tennis.
All right.
Happy hitting.
Words
See
of
you next
wisdom.
time.
Thanks for the invite.
Yay.